Hi folks! Yes, the golf is still going on. You'll have to wait for that. So, for those who saw episode 8 and watched till the very end, would have witnessed a little bit of drama.
Dun, dun, dun.
As you can see from this photo, the Pilgrim's tie bar bracket has suffered a little bit of metal fatigue. And this is due to the lack of flexibility in the new poly bushes. All that work. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and let's see Dad rise up to the challenge once more. As you can see, folks, we've got quite a bit of a dilemma on our hands.
Go on. Whoa, stop.
Up, please.
It's sad to see this fracture when we glorified the Pilgrim's chassis for being over-engineered. On the same day I found this issue, I shared it on my social media, and folks from the Pilgrim Sumo owners Facebook group were very kind to point out that this is a common problem on the Mark II chassis, and the only solution to this is to reinforce it. Thanks to everyone for the info. And now, back to the Pilgrim. Dad starts off by removing the Pilgrim's grille to get access to the tie bar. Once removed, Dad then starts unbolting the nuts of the tie bar. It's hard to tell, but there are cracks around the hole where the tie bar goes through. And that's one tie bar out. Now you can see the cracks better. Dad then shapes the bracket back into shape. Then it's time for our trusty cardboard template to help fabricate the new piece of steel. Then Dad removes the thick galvanizing coat and slowly cuts away the weld. From the cardboard template, Dad shapes a thicker piece of steel from what's left of our old jack and endlessly checks to avoid cutting in excess. He then cuts the middle section of the bracket, and the weakened section is slowly removed. Then it's the long process of preparing the new piece to go onto the chassis. A perfect circle. This is how thick the metal was on the weakened section of the bracket. And that's the thickness of the new piece of steel. A trial assembly of the tie bar is done to see how much the nuts have to be tightened to allow some extra movement, since the new bushes have very little flexibility, and also this will be a good test of the thickness of the metal to see if it will withstand the forces exerted upon it. One point to mention, the manual states that it doesn't have an exact measurement of tightness of the nuts. The tie bar simply requires to be in a relaxed position. These next few measurements are to find out how much more in length is required to weld onto the new bush sleeve, since the new piece for the bracket is thicker. Dad then loosens until he feels there's enough tightness to keep it all together, as well as there being enough flexibility. Once Dad has a point of reference, he then measures roughly other positions in which forces occur upon the tie bar. Including when the suspension is under load.
Stop. Yeah. One way of doing it is measuring it from here to here. 88 centimetres. 88. Go on. Whoa, 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 whoa.
That'll do?
Yeah, but they hardly moved. The actual suspension hardly moved at all. Do it a bit more, Zay. Bit more. More.
The car's moving.
Yeah, I can see.
To the right.
Yeah, but it's okay on the right. Go on. Go on.
Dad, But it's moving off.
Yeah,
It's,
can
you
you-
know, I'm here on the
No, it's okay. Can you just go down? Right, that's enough. 83, okay? It was 88 started, so it moved 5 centimetres. Okay, take it up. Look at the pressure, you can actually squeeze that. And that one is like bloody rock. Yes, it allows for that a little bit of extra, but it's not enough. We've got to put another
6.3.
6.39 millimetres onto it.
And with that, Dad started doing the modifications. He starts off by welding the extra length of pipe onto the sleeve. After much checking and measuring, he then marks the point where to cut the excess pipe.
Notice how these bushes are not squashed right out. Now they've got flexibility. If you look at the ones that are fitted, you can see they're absolutely squashed out. So hopefully this will solve the job. Ready for welding now.
Safety first.
Who's a twit to not put protection down?
Now for the final major welding. And a few coats of galvanizing spray.
Maybe not the best of welding, but I think it'll be strong enough for that.
I think it's time now for a test drive.
Let's go!
Wait a second. Damn it! Back to the drawing board. Well, that was disappointing. Increasing the thickness wasn't enough. I think we need some extra bracing. So, Dad gets a cardboard box out and begins fabricating some pieces. Again.
Because I have to make it into two bits of metal, you see, so there, and I've got another piece to go there, and another piece, and I've got to heat that up in the middle, and bend it, but I can't bend that thick metal, the old jack that gave up the ghost. So I can get access to it, I've got to make sure that is not going to catch on the spanner, and 40 seems to be so that's what I'm doing.
And off we go again! And that's the bracing done. Time to strengthen this tie bar bracket.
Decided to make myself a decent little hammer.
And that's one side done. Now for the other side. And just like magic,
Well, hopefully this does the trick. Should be strong enough.
and for some added protection, Dad injects wax oil into the cavities where the heat of the welding might have burnt off the galvanizing inside the chassis. I think it's time for another test drive. I think Dad succeeded with his modifications. It's just a pity my camera was jumping a bit more than the last time. Now for the other side.
Success!
And that is it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this happy conclusion of the first season of the Pilgrim Sumo series. The Pilgrim will be back for another season once the Golf has had its turn of TLC. Thank you very much for watching, and stick around for more. Bye!